What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new Division 2 video. Today's video is going to be a quick one, just talking about my first-hand impressions and thoughts of basically everything that we've seen and learned about Division 2 at E3. E3 is pretty much done and over with for in terms of Division 2 gameplay and basically any other new information we're going to get. So in terms of that, we're pretty much done until the beta or until the state of games. Maybe they release more information about that, but just want to give you guys a quick video just explaining my thoughts and my impressions, what I think of the game so far. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you guys do, make sure you guys drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Let's get right to the video. Alright guys, so getting right into it, I'm going to do my best for you guys to keep this video under 10 minutes. I'm only going to be talking about a couple of things. If you guys have anything you guys want to add, you guys can do that in the comment section below. But I wanted to keep this video as short as I possibly can. I didn't want to sit here for like 20-25 minutes just blabbering on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best to keep it as short as possibly can. I got a list of like 7 or 8 things that I want to talk about. So getting right into it, the first thing that you guys probably all noticed when you guys saw the very first trailer that they released of the Division 2, it was actually at the Microsoft one, I think, was the graphics. The graphics obviously looked like insanely better than they did Division 1. I will say very quickly, the only downside to this is that at E3 at like 2012 or 2013 when they originally released the trailer for Division 1, the trailer and the gameplay looked a whole hell of a lot different than the actual game did when it released. So I am a little bit scared of what it actually might look like when we get to play it during the beta. But from some people I know that were actually able to get hands-on gameplay at E3, and from what the devs and everyone else was saying in the live stream, the game is almost just an absolute replica of what we were seeing on the screen. So hopefully they keep their word to that and it actually looks like that when we get the full game. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. But next up, I want to talk about the gun sounds. Now, I know this is probably something that a lot of people have not been talking about, but if you're comparing gun sounds in Division 2 to Division 1, at least what we've been able to see so far compared to Division 1, the guns just sound so much more crisp. They sound so much more realistic. Not that the weapons in Division 1 didn't sound realistic or anything. To me, it just sounds like they put a lot more work into the mechanics of the weapon and how they sound, what they look like, muzzle flashes and things like that. It just looks like they put a ton of more work for what the reality of the weapons sound like and what they look like in the game. So next up, I want to talk about the weapons that we were able to actually see in the trailers and the gameplay for Division 2. I know a lot of people are going to probably be thinking that they really didn't change any of the names. They probably didn't change what they look like. And that might be true, but I will say that I saw a couple of weapons that I didn't recognize from Division 1, and the first one was the lightweight M4. That was a weapon that pretty much everyone was using in the demo video or the demo gameplay that they were able to show. I saw a couple of LMGs that were from Division 1 as well. I saw the Vector. The one thing that I noticed, you guys might see this in the gameplay that you guys are watching for this video at some point, but the Vector had like 1.1k fire rate. I'm not sure if that was like intentional for us to see, but I thought that was like extremely high for SMG. But then again, it does only have like a 20-25 round magazine for the base magazine, so I guess you are sort of substituting the high fire rate for a super low small magazine size. But obviously, you guys got to keep in mind they did announce that the Division 2 timestamp is only 6 months after from the time it took place in the Division 1. So obviously, in 6 months, they're not going to just magically find a ton of different weapons and just like have a lot of prototypes and stuff and literally just straight up create new weapons. So you got to kind of expect that we're going to have a decent amount of weapons returning in Division 2 from Division 1. And then obviously, maybe they might rename a couple of different weapons, or maybe have a different variation of a couple of weapons that we saw in Division 1. And obviously, we're going to just straight up get some new weapons in the Division 2 that we didn't see in Division 1. Next, quickly going over the mods and basically how they're going to work in Division 2. If you guys did not realize by now, in Division 1, like gear mods and weapon mods, so like attachments, extended mags, red dots, those took up space for your inventory in Division 1. So you basically either had to throw them on your weapons and just not care about where they were at, or put them in your inventory and have to take a risk at not being able to pick up certain weapons or pieces of gear for Division 1. Which kind of sucks because everyone has like those perfect rolled pieces of gear and those perfect rolled weapons, and sometimes you gotta deconstruct them or sell them just to get some space for the mod that you want for your weapons. So going on to the character specializations, for me personally, this is probably like one of, if not the biggest change in the Division 2 crossing over from Division 1. And the reason why I say that is because with these alts that we have in the Division 1 right now, you have the 3 alts. Obviously, you have the damage alt, you have the healing alt, and then you have the blue alt that basically makes you invincible for a couple of seconds. Right now, I feel like it just adds a lot of randomness in the game, and it adds like sort of like a last lifeline for people to try to get away or kill you. And with this being changed in the Division 2, basically those are completely scrapped for Division 2. They're gone. Those are no more. And in replacement with these, we obviously have the character specializations, or I just like to call them special characters, because obviously you guys know by now that each character gets a special weapon, and each character gets a special skill that comes with those characters. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I do believe that if you switch a character like mid-game or mid-mission, it doesn't like restart your level that you're working on for that character or anything. You keep on ranking it up no matter how many times you switch it. So just want to throw that in if you guys were wondering that, because immediately when they announced these, that was like one of the first things that I thought of, was if you switch these characters like mid-game or mid-mission, it like makes you restart or something, and that's obviously not the case. But overall, this helps the game a lot. I know it's going to add a little bit of a like indifference for PvP. We haven't got to see any PvP obviously yet, but I'm definitely thinking that these character specializations are definitely going to be doing some damage in the Dark Zone and in any PvP when they are actually released, and when we get to see them in work, whether or not it's in the Dark Zone or whatever it might be, whatever PvP modes they have in store for us in the future. But for me personally, I am extremely happy with the changes they made for these two. I don't really know how you guys are feeling. I ran a poll on Twitter, and it's like literally 50-50 right now. So some people are liking the changes with the specialization characters, and some people are kind of mad that they replaced the alts that we have with the specializations that we're going to be getting in Division 2. Like I said, I feel like it just adds like an extra lifeline for people and just creates a lot of randomness and sort of like bitch modeness in the Dark Zone and in any PvP mode in the Division 1. So for me, I definitely got to give this a thumbs up. I'm extremely happy with the change they're making, and I really cannot wait to see this and get to use it myself in the beta and when the actual full game comes out. But lastly, I just want to talk about how this game plays, the flow of the game, what it looked like if you guys were watching it. It just felt to me like the game, I wouldn't necessarily say that this game is like super slow compared to the pace of the game for Division 1, but it did feel as if it was a little bit slower than Division 1, slow pace I should say. I guess one of the reasonings for this is because like the devs are playing, not saying that they're like bad or they don't know how to play their own game that they create, but they play like a little bit more strategic, if that makes sense to you guys. They actually play the game how it's supposed to be meant to be played, which is going from cover to cover. Obviously, we know from Division 1, we just face take everything and just run into NPCs and shoot them until they die, rather than going from one piece of cover to the other piece of cover and being a little bit less than we are just straight up rushing at them and shooting them with shotguns or whatever we might be using at that time. But obviously they're trying to play the game and showcase the game, how it's supposed to be played, if people have maybe never watched Division just in general for gameplay or played it in general. So I guess I can see where they're coming from with how they were playing the game and how it looked. Like I said, I'm like 50-50 on this. This is like really one of the only nitpicky things that I could find out of all the gameplay that I watched. So I guess from a standpoint of the overall gameplay that we saw over the couple of days, this was really the only like negative thing, or I guess like the only thing that I could find to talk about that wasn't necessarily 100% positive. But yeah guys, that is basically it. That's everything that I want to talk about. Like I said, I wanted to keep this video like under like 10 or 15 minutes. I didn't want to sit here for like 20-30 minutes and just here and nitpick every single segment of the videos that we were able to watch for the Division at E3. So obviously keep in mind guys, once again, that this is like the pre-alpha stage of the game, so literally nothing is set in stone. Everything could change within a day. We know nothing about this game obviously than the gameplay that we were able to watch. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of changes. That's the reason why they are going to create something called a beta for this game, so that we are able to test it, we're able to play it, give them tons of feedback about the game when it is actually playable for the full access, and hopefully they can just go forward with this and get better and better as we go on, and hopefully get a little bit more information about the game as well. But other than that guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys drop a like on it. If you guys have any questions, anything you guys want to see me talk about in videos, or just in general anything you guys missed that I should have put in the video, you guys can feel free to throw that down in the comment section below. And once again guys, I need to start talking about my Twitter more, because I use that a shit ton, and if you guys follow me on Twitter, You guys will probably know what I talk about a lot on there, what videos I'm making, and just in general. It's just fun to use Twitter. It's, you know, I have no problem with talking to a lot of people, just tweeting people in general. That's what I do on a daily basis anyway. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, the link will be down in the description, or you guys can just search it up. It is just straight up the same name as my YouTube name, Ballin TV. It does not matter how you search it up, you'll find it. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys can just DM me or follow me and tweet me. I follow pretty much every single one back. So yeah, that is basically it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.